Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a headline from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin bears asking to be obliterated as Bitcoin flashes reversal signals, according to crypto strategist. And they're talking about one of the most pro-XRP analysts out there, by the way. So it's not just going to be Bitcoin bears that end up ultimately getting obliterated. It's all of the XRP bears, too. Ain't going to go so well for them. Also, there's a social metric that's being tracked actually by an on-chain analytics firm, Sentiment, and I want to share with you some of the latest information on that, as well as perspective from a crypto billionaire who highlights exactly what's happening in terms of traditional finance, legacy banking people traditionally in power coming into crypto and what they're doing to make sure that they still get theirs, because as there's this paradigm shift in the way that value is moving around the planet, obviously, the incumbents, those in legacy finance, they're not just going to go quietly into the night. Most certainly not. But perhaps they've got a way to, make sure that perhaps not as much power shifts as otherwise would. That's what they're going to try for anyway. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, at the time I'm recording this, XRP is 52 cents. Bitcoin's still just a little above $26,000. So for over a week at this point, we've mostly been seeing crypto more or less trade sideways within the narrow band of volatility that you typically see here. But I'm telling you, it's not going to stay here forever. XRP price is not going to, it will not stay here at 52 cents forever. And when things happen, they frequently happen quickly. So then the question is, are we going to be seeing a break to the downside or the upside? Well, I'll tell you, the markets are still in extreme fear. Well, not extreme fear, but in fear, as tracked by Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index on your screen at 39 out of 100. So what is most probable? Let's get into this piece from the Daily Hodl. They're actually covering perspective from Credible Crypto, one of my favorite analysts out there. And again, very pro-XRP guy out here. In fact, I'm not sure if it's still his largest holding, because obviously what crypto's worth changes and he could be getting in and out of positions, but not long ago, XRP, he publicly stated, was his largest individual crypto holding. And even if it's not now, undoubtedly he's still very pro-XRP, and so presumably it would still be the case. So he's of the same mindset as you and I. He gets it, and he's also, although an analyst, and he will do a little bit of trading, he has long-term bags, which is all I do. I don't trade anything. So I just choose to hold, but he's got that too, and he's geared towards utility despite the fact that he also enjoys trading. But anyway, let's jump into the piece here. Closely followed crypto analyst is issuing a warning to Bitcoin bears that the crypto king is showing signs of strength on the daily and weekly charts. Pseudonymous analyst Credible Crypto tells his 346,000 followers on the social media platform X that Bitcoin's Relative Strength Index, or RSI for short, is flashing a classic bullish divergence on the daily chart while showing a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly chart. In technical analysis, a classic bullish divergence is typically seen as a reversal signal, while a hidden bullish divergence is a sign of trend continuation. And of course, folks, the obvious reason that this is important to us, even if you're like me and you're way more interested in XRP than pretty much any other crypto, including XRP, Bitcoin leads the market. It always has for the indefinite future. It's going to. I don't know that literally always will. Maybe it will. But we want to see Bitcoin do well, and if Bitcoin does well, I think XRP is going to ultimately do well, because there's a very clear, provable correlation that has existed for the entirety of XRP's existence to Bitcoin. But anyway, here's the quote from Credible Crypto. Largest liquidation event since December 21. Yes, nearly 2 years ago. 2x that of FTX collapse. Classic bullish divergence on Bitcoin daily and hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin weekly charts. Below depict both. Bitcoin dominance backtesting bullish breakout of 2-year long range. Calls for $20,000, $12,000, and $10,000 are pouring in, despite no actual break in the bullish market structure to signal any sort of shift in momentum. The first break is at $24,800. Bears are asking to be absolutely obliterated here, end quote. And so you may recall towards the beginning part of the year, of course, as we were only a couple months out from the FTX collapse, which was the bottom of the bear market with Bitcoin barely over $15,000 at that point. You started to see a bit of recovery, but everybody under the sun, so it seemed anyway, was calling, not literally, but just so many, especially on social media. Just what do you see? Cry after cry after cry that Bitcoin was going to continue to the downside. We hadn't seen the worst yet. There were going to be additional market bottoms, perhaps down to $10,000 or $12,000 Bitcoin. And then for most of the rest of 2023 up to this point, we've seen expectations. It's because, again, this is how humans act. Directionally, whatever's happening, it feels like that could never change, whether it's negative or positive. Whatever's happening in the moment, it's going to keep doing that. It's going to go lower and lower and lower, or higher and higher and higher. And what we've seen for the rest of the year up to this point is, despite pullbacks along the way, fine, but we've just seen a move to the upside, with Bitcoin even breaking over $30,000. And now, what did it take? Just not much. And you can find it was a major liquidation event. I acknowledge that. I covered that when it happened. So yes, there was that, but still. Look at the price of Bitcoin. It's still over $26,000. XRP's over 52 cents, and people are still crying. Because again, when there's a move like that, it just puts people in a certain kind of mood, and they think this. But once that hits, I mean, once that becomes the common wisdom, and I use that term in air quotes and a bit sarcastically, once that hits, is it really the case that what's most likely is that we're going to continue to see that? Or has everybody capitulated and everybody's just in the sour mood? Because typically it's just that. And in fact, so take a look at this, just kind of prove the point a little bit. And this is from a few days ago, but it doesn't matter. It's still as relevant now as it was a few days ago. From the Daily Hodl, one social metric is now flashing a bullish signal after Bitcoin crashed to under $26,000. Sentiment. And this is a great firm. They do all sorts of on-chain analytics stuff, and here they're tracking a social metric. Blockchain analytics platform Sentiment says that a key social metric indicates crypto markets may soon rebound after crashing. Sentiment says that after Bitcoin's sudden collapse below $26,000, the use of the term bear market has increased to an 11-week high on social media platforms, which is a bullish signal. So again, folks, if you're new to crypto, that might sound counterintuitive. Wait, everybody's screaming that about the bear market, and everybody's using the search term bear market, and this is a good sign? Well, yes, because typically these indicate reversal moments. See, here's a quote from them. A positive sign that crypto markets will rebound is the fact that traders are increasingly referring to current market conditions as a bear market. Historically, when traders show FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, the probability of price rises increases considerably, end quote. And so note that they cited specifically traders, which is what I don't do. I'm a holder. I just hold. There's so much data proving in equities as well as crypto that the people that get in and out of positions and are the traders, and they think that they're just the wizards of smart, they end up losing money. Somewhere, I think slightly north of 90% of traders, they lose money. And that's a real thing. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. With XRP, like the opportunity for genuine life-changing wealth, because look, what we're seeing here with the advent of crypto, it's been 14 years now, but and that include the adoption of XRP here. This is a once-in-a-species event, and I do firmly mean that. You can't just have a second creation of cryptocurrency, and there has never been an opportunity like this. There literally hasn't. When was the last time there was even a new asset class? Like hundreds of years ago? And we were here first. So yeah, I would say that when it comes to the types of behaviors that historically have shown to be pivotal points, it's no different now, and it's no different than what we've seen historically in equities. You got over 100 years worth of data showing you how humans behave, because the humans that buy and sell equities, it's the same DNA there that people have when they're buying and selling crypto. And so that's why I just keep expounding like this message of positivity, because I couldn't be more confident that's the case over the long term. I don't pretend to know what all the short-term gyrations on the market's going to be, but I do know it doesn't matter in the end. It just doesn't matter here. And so that's why I'm patient as hell, and I'm firm on this, and I just don't do anything. After I purchase crypto, I literally just do nothing. That is my strategy, and it freaking works. I've been doing it almost 6 years. It works. Piece continues. According to the analytics firm, deep-pocketed investors have started accumulating Bitcoin again, which contributed to Bitcoin's rally on Wednesday. Quote, Bitcoin jumped back as high as $26,800 as key whale and shark addresses are now collectively adding to their stacks once again. There are currently 156,660 wallets holding 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin, and they've accumulated $308.6 million since August 17th. And so there's the other aspect of these types of stories. And what do you see? When there's the major capitulation, people are freaking out. That's when the whales come on in. Those little splishy, splashy whales getting aquatic AF. This is the time they can smell the blood in the water, and they will purchase your. That's exactly what they do. And it's just a crazy time that we live in. But I'm excited to be here. I'm very excited to be here. We were here before the institutions. The institutions have now figured out, finally, that this whole crypto thing ain't exactly going away. And they weren't first movers or even close to it, broadly speaking. But now they want to make sure that, now it's clear that the way that value is going to be moving around the planet, they want to make sure that they retain their incumbent status as rulers of the financial world. And we'll see to what degree they're able to do it. There still will be shakeups, and there will be new players jumping in. I mean, frankly, a huge part of what is going to change the way money moves around the planet, if Ripple gets their way, it is going to be XRP. It's in particular as far as bridging currencies. And not just that, there's something else I'll talk about in a separate video, but with the way that money moves around the planet, just utilizing the built-in decentralized exchange of the XRP ledger. And of course, this is contingent upon sufficient adoption, but in terms of ability, the XRP ledger actually has it. And one thing that gives it a huge leg up is that it's one of the oldest cryptocurrencies out there, and it has liquidity, which is something that you just can't program into a blockchain. You literally can't program that into a cryptocurrency. And XRP actually has it, one of the most liquid cryptocurrencies on the entire damn planet. So XRP, it's already playing a major role in the future way that, because we're living through the evolution right now. We're seeing the change just kind of occur. Sometimes it feels like slow motion, but it's happening. XRP is playing that role right now. And I do believe that as more time passes, and more people jump in, the money's going to go, the money itself will flow to where the value is in this asset class. And XRP is legitimately valuable. But I want to share with you perspective from Arthur Hayes, who is a crypto billionaire. Because he had an interesting take, I thought, and generally correct, as far as what's happening in traditional finance. Because again, for much of the last 14 years, most of traditional finance wasn't making moves, wasn't taking action. What's with this stupid magic internet money? It's going to go away, except for it didn't go away. And now they're realizing, okay, we got a bit of catch-up to play here. And you got BlackRock moving and all that jazz. Well, check it out. So this piece is titled, Arthur Hayes says Larry Fink and BlackRock coming for Bitcoin and crypto industry. Here's how. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes says that the giants of traditional finance, or TradFi for short, are planning a subtle takeover of the Bitcoin and crypto industries. In a new blog post, Hayes says that there is now a battle as to who owns crypto, with legacy financial institutions circling the industry in the depths of the bear market after many crypto firms have died off. Quote, what I'm trying to say is that crypto itself was never the problem. This issue is who owns it. Does it make sense now why banks and asset managers all of a sudden warmed up to crypto as soon as their competition was deaded? They know the government is coming for their deposit base, and they need to make sure that the only available antidote to inflation, crypto, is under their control. TradFi banks and asset managers will offer crypto exchange-traded funds, ETF, or similar type managed products that give the client a crypto derivative in exchange for fiat cash. So folks, what they're talking about here, and obviously that's what we're talking about with an ETF, it's a representation effectively of the underlying asset. So if there's a spot Bitcoin ETF, it's representative of that. So it's people trading in their increasingly worthless fiat currency, where I live here in the United States, that would be the dollar, of course. And what do you get in exchange? Well, in this case, you're not holding actual Bitcoin if it's a derivative, but Bitcoin would be held as a result. So you still have the supply-demand dynamics playing. It doesn't matter. So what you have is just the fund itself, the ETF. But basically what you're doing again is you're trading in your increasingly worthless fiat cash for something that is it does the opposite of what inflationary fiat currencies do, and especially in the environment that we're now, like it's people increasingly figure this out. Like crypto's obviously here to stay, and I know that was more contested almost 6 years ago when I jumped into crypto. Although even at that point, I would argue it's like, okay, it's pretty clear it's here to stay. But now it's just almost another 6 years later. It's just bigger and bigger, more adoption, more value, more utility. And it's at the point where anybody that's arguing that crypto's not here to stay, it's just like it's a boring, tired old argument, and you're just not making sense. If anybody out there believes that, and I know it's not you guys listening to this, but to anybody out there that believes that it's crypto's not here to stay, or it's probably not here to stay, it's time for you to look inward and ask what you don't understand, because there's something, perhaps multiple things that you do not get if you think that it's going away here. And it's the same specifically, again, for XRP, which is why I'm so excited about this. The asset class gets bigger. I don't need XRP to take over the world or even necessarily be #1 in market cap, though that would be awesome and it's possible. It could happen. I just want there to be a bigger pie so that I can get a bigger percentage of that myself. So XRP will get a big chunk of that. A notable percentage, already does have a notable percentage of the overall pie. One of the largest cryptocurrencies on the entire planet in terms of market cap, and then I'll get more of mine as a result of it. That's what I'm talking about here. So seeing that this shift is happening, seeing all of these incumbents actually come in here, it's an excellent strategy, frankly, because cash is just continued. It's just abused. It's getting printed into oblivion. No, thank you, sir, our madam. That is a major reason that I'm happy to hold crypto, frankly. And yes, I understand that XRP and the broader crypto markets, it's just, considered risk on assets. And so, of course, it's historically just been following what happens in stocks. And so you're like, well, what the hell kind of hedge is that? I don't care. I don't think that it's going to stay like that forever. And I also don't think that you're going to have a collapse of the, United States economy permanently. So no matter how far down stocks go, I don't care. I think that what's happening with the debasement of the dollar over the long term is going to be way worse than what happens to stocks. And crypto follows stocks. So no, I don't care if it's not behaving like a proper hedge against inflation or anything right now. I get that, and I actually agree with that argument. It doesn't change my calculus here. I still want the exposure, because I do believe that the dollar is going to be in way worse shape compared to anything. I mean, that's obviously the case. It just gets continually inflated into oblivion. There's so many reasons to be in crypto. Do you see why I'm so optimistic? Like, you can talk about the utility, you can talk about the dollar just being completely abused, and just if you have a sufficiently long time horizon, my God, the opportunity here is tremendous. And then Arthur Hayes says, the fund managers get to charge egregious fees because they are the only game in town that allows investors to easily sell fiat for a crypto financial return. If crypto in the coming decades can have a larger monetary systemic impact than the euro-dollar market, then traditional finance can more than recoup their losses due to unfavorable banking regulations. They do this by becoming the crypto gatekeepers for their multi-trillion-dollar deposit bases. End quote. And I think that's in a general sense the strategy. So there's a lot of catch-up from traditional finance here, including major investment firms. And when it comes to something like this specifically, again, you trade in the dollars, and you get some exposure to the crypto asset class. But they're quickly playing. They're trying to be quick anyway. I mean, look what BlackRock's finally. Did you think that there would ever be would BlackRock ever be the first to jump into this space? Well, obviously not. Obviously not. When it's magic internet money, and then it was very reasonable to debate whether or not crypto would exist even like a year or two later. No, of course BlackRock wasn't going to jump in. They wanted to make sure that it was sufficiently safe. They've decided that it is. The writing is on the wall, and they're going to make an absolute fortune. And not that I'm a gigantic fan of BlackRock or anything, but I recognize what this means for crypto in terms of more money flowing in. I recognize that in those terms, it's a net plus for me, just in that specific regard. That would be good for anybody listening in that regard specifically, even if they're arguably a net negative on the world, as many would say. But I want to get in that conversation in this video anyway. But that's what's actually happening right here. And so again, this is why I want to remind you, as I stated at the outset, XRP can't stay here forever. It can't stay in this price range forever. It absolutely will not. And it's just got to kind of ask yourself what makes the most sense, because XRP is a big part of the change that's happening in this space, obviously, and I think it will increasingly be so. It's not like it's stagnating or going the other direction. It's all going in the right direction, from legal to clarity. Then there's always the continued correlation, which there is with the broader crypto asset class. That's never left. And then you have just the actual adoption of XRP, which is changing the way that value moves around in traditional finance the world over. And I think that that's going to increase substantially. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.